atong gobyerno karon na atag yung nakita nga ang project sa gobyerno wala tinuod gyud labi na sa diri nga area sa Mayapay atong gobyerno karon na atag yung nakita nga ang project sa gobyerno mga joggers tinuod gyud labi na sa diri nga area sa Mayapay atong gobyerno karon na atag yung nakita nga ang project sa gobyerno mga joggers tinuod gyud labi na sa diri nga area sa Mayapay atong gobyerno karon na atag yung nakita nga ang project sa gobyerno mga joggers tinuod karon na atag yung nakita nga ang
Good morning, everyone. It is now 10:25 in the morning of January 26, 2024. I now call to order this pre-bid conference for five civil works projects and one goods and services. So to start with, may we have the roll call of participants from Engineer Flora Sara Divisaya so that we can also determine the presence of the quorum. Ma'am Sara, please. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Once again, good morning to each and everyone. For this pre-bid conference of Civil Works and Goods, we have here for our attendance, starting from our back chairperson, Attorney Olmel Digo, Attorney Joey Digingani, Maribeth D. Burgos, Cristina Luz Arcacayan, Ruth Cantiveros, and also from our back TWG, we have here Architect Cherry Ann Sicoro, Engineer Llewellyn Dog. And from the back secretariat, Flora Sara Divisaya, yours truly, Miss Annabel El Mosquida, Miss Stephen Joy Constante. And we have here our presenter for this project from our end user from the construction division. We have here Engineer Ayan Richie Awing. And also we have also here from PDD Engineer Ronnie Joy Hipana. So we'll start from the civil works. So goods, good. Okay. So please, Engineer Awing, please forward for the presentation. But first, we still have our house rules. First, please be guided also of the provisions of RA 9184 and its IR as well as the GPPB issuances. Dropping of bid, only CWA registered representatives will be allowed. If not available, SPA will be recognized subject to the following guidelines. Like the following, the SPA should be emailed to the back secretariat using the PhilGEMS registered email of the company. This way, the company cannot claim forgery or no knowledge of the submission. Another one, the original copy of the SPA should be submitted to the Back Secretariat together with a copy of company ID and any government issued ID and picture and signature. And we have also here only one representative per company is allowed during the bidding period due to the limited space of the conference room. Additional participants can view the line coverage through Zoom. Number 3, reminders. Qualifications of the materials engineer should include the DPWH accreditation issued through a department order. Deadline of submission is at 10 a.m. sharp. Notary should not be taken lightly. It can lead to criminal prosecution and blacklisting. Bidders are directed to use the front door of the conference room. Back door is for the exclusive use of DPWH employees only. So for our house rules, again, when called, raise your hand to be recognized. Phone calls on silent mode. Calls should be answered outside. Again, use of the back door is not allowed, exclusive for DPWH employees only. If there are any questions and clarifications, raise your hand to be recognized before raising any issue. For this pre-bid conference, we actually invited for civil works, we actually invited COA, the president of the Society of Contractors of Agusan, Surigao, and Butuan City Incorporated, or SCASB. And we also invited Mr. Timoteo M. Popa under the Anti-Graft and Transparency Advocates of Surigao Incorporated, or AGTA-C. And for the civil, for goods, we invited again COA and the Butuan City Chamber of Commerce and Industry Foundation Incorporated, and also the Anti-Graft and Transparency Advocates of Surigao Incorporated, AGTA-C. And with, as we can observe, we don't have any representative from our suppliers or our prospective bidders. In online, do we have? We also don't have any participant through online from our participating bidders or suppliers. That's all, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. There being a quorum for today, let us now proceed with our pre-bid conference for the 5 civil works projects and 1 goods and services. So we'll start with
Good,
the
sir.
goods and services. For the presenter, whenever ready, you may proceed with the
Okay,
presentation.
for goods, we have here our presenter, Engineer Ian Awing, as the construction as the end user of the supplies.
Good morning, everyone. I'm gonna present the supply for the delivery and installation of additional modular partition for construction division office. With contract ID of 23 GN 00018, appropriation of 1,386,697 and 45 cents. Location is in Construction Division Office at J. Rosales Avenue, Butuan City. Scope of work would be modular partition itself and other furnitures. This is the breakdown for the modular partition. Workstation for the monitoring section with inclusion of section chiefs for monitoring CMS and CPES. Also included is the contract preparation unit, modular partition, and TWG workstation mobile pedestals. For the other furnitures, we have six-seater dining set with top glass and sofa chair for the receiving area of construction division with blind curtains with the following specs. This is the floor plan for the monitoring section for the additional modular partition and for the back. That is all.
Mr. Chair, any question?
Are there questions or clarifications from the presentation of the modular partition for construction division office? Comments? Do we have participants online, ma'am, na prospective suppliers or
For now, we don't have, sir.
no
we don't have.
participants? So no questions?
I
None?
think there's none.
There being no questions, let us now proceed with the presentation of the civil works projects. Sir, whenever ready.
For the civil works, we have your engineer Roy Hipania. Hipana. Okay, engineer, please proceed.
Good morning. Our next project is the Marlica, Surigao Agusan section, K 1169 plus 720 to K 1170 plus 000. With the project ID of P0080015MN with a appropriation of 11,400,000 with an ABC of 11,001,000. With a contract duration of 75 calendar days. Location is at Kitcherao, Agusan del Norte. The type of work is a road widening with a project length of 285 meters. This is the summary of quantities. The grading quantities. The location map. The quarry site for item 200, 300, 505 is at Magchaco River, Surigao del Norte, with an average holding distance of 6 kilometers from the project site. For item 104 is at Bangunay Hill, at Habunga, Agusan del Norte, with an average hauling distance of 22 kilometers from the project site. For item 311 is at Matinao, Surigao del Norte, with an average hauling distance of 22 kilometers from the project site. This is the typical road cross-section. The plan and profile. That's all. Any more questions from the projects? Of course. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 4 lanes, ma'am. May ibang section dito, ma'am, nga kung ano, makita na po sa mapa is under siya sa may Kitsaraw. Ah, 3.35 ba, ma'am? Ah, kuan man, ma'am, isa ra man jud ka side ang among nakuha na kay na may existing nga 3 lanes dito nga part. Nya 3.35 sa ilang i-consider. Katong 3.5, ma'am. Bukig mo siya, ma'am, kay gamay ra siya nga section. 200 meters lang siya katabi tong naimurag na gap. So gibutangan lang namo siya. Gi-same na mo sa atbang niya. Ang kuana naman, ma'am, is pag nanapod tong widening bitaw mo nga katong dako nga fans. Dito lang may mag-correction kay kung diri may magsugod, ma'am, 200 meters lang siya, medyo bungkig siya. Yes, ma'am. Gisabay sa naman siya kay 200, 200 meters siya magud siya, ma'am, nya 11 million lang siya nga fund. So mas mugaw may yun siya dili mi ka human sa katong 200 meters. 11 million, ma'am. Any more questions?
Are there any further questions or clarifications from the presentation? Okay, there being none, let's now proceed with the next project. Sir, just to be clear, walang right of way issue
Wala
dito,
sir
sir, no?
kasi
Pa-note na lang, attorneys, yung project ID and title. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
The next project is Agusan del Norte, Agusan del Sur, North-South Lateral Road, Las Nieves, Agusan del Norte, Kapalong, Davao del Norte, Package 4, Agusan del Sur. With an appropriation of 200 million, with an ABC of 193 million. The location is at Loreto, Agusan del Sur, with a contract duration of 330 calendar days. The types of work is construction of gravel road with a project length of 2.58 kilometers. This is the summary of quantities. The grading quantities. The minimum equipment requirement. For item 200, boulders is at Maog River, Prosperidad, Agusan del Sur, with an average hauling distance of 92 kilometers from the project site. And for sand and gravel for item 311 and 405 is at Kumuta River, upstream, La Paz, Agusan del Sur, with an average hauling distance of 79 kilometers from the project site. This is the location map of the project. Medyo layo siya, ma'am, pero ma-trace naman siya sa may San Luis, bitaw, ma'am. San Luis, Binikalan nga road. Actually, ma'am, continue siya tong last na itong project. Si Sir Jesus Ruiz, ma'am. Kapalong. This is the typical cross-section. The profile. Marut, any more questions? Any more questions, sir? Sorry, ma'am, pagtay. Yes. Siguro baka mo naglaro, copy paste.
Agusan Davao section.
Agusan del Sur, sir.
Agusan del Sur. And number 5. Paano?
Kuan, ma'am. Ah, kanang do kagap, ma'am, sa pagkaroon is maagian gud siya, sing gabi kagam. Yes, ma'am. Siguro sa pagka next nga project na mo, wala man na mo siya na anticipate nga na siya bridge karon. Nga sa among kuan is roads lang siya. So by next nga funding, mag-bridge na po, bridge na po na project. Ah, pag pag unang identify naman doon is abi na mo kanang kuan lang siya kanang box culvert. Pwede siya box culvert. And then pag validate dito sa kuan is actually gamay ra kay siyang tubig, ma'am, pero medyo lapad lang siya. Yes, ma'am, pero dili siya Umayam River din, contributory lang siya. Wala mo siya yung names. Yes, ma'am. Wala siya yung names, so name lang naman siya Umayam. Kay tributary siya sa Umayam.
Okay, there being no more questions,
Thank you.
let's now proceed with the next presentations.
Yes, sir. We have here Engineer Bernie Hilario to present the details of the project for breeds, flood control, and snow protection, shore protection. Hmm? Breeds? No. No.
Good morning, everyone. To continue this, to continue the pre-bid conference, I'm going to present to you three projects under the Bridge and Other Public Works Design section. So the first one is the construction of flood mitigation structure, Mahay Viaduct section, Butuan City, Agusan del Norte. The appropriation is 250 million pesos. And the ABC is 241,250,000 pesos. The contract duration is 300 calendar days. The schedule of opening of bids is on February 8, 2024. So this is the items involved in this project. So kindly look at on the wide screen, please. So under earthworks and also under the bank and slope protection works. Okay, so the provision for the field office for the engineer, we have a field office, 1 unit field office in rental basis, and another provisions for the provision of furnitures, equipments, appliances for the field office for the engineer. We have aircon, double deck bed, LPG burner, and other office supplies. And also for the operation and maintenance of the field office for the engineer. We have the provision of electricity, water, and LPG tank. The breakdown also for the project billboards or signboards, and breakdown for the occupational safety and health program. We have also breakdown for the traffic management items. These are the minimum equipment requirements for this project. So we have a total of 24 equipments. The location of our project. This is along the man-made creek from Barangay Mahay going to Barangay Baan. This is the typical section of our flood control project. The specification for the steel sheet piles and for the quarry sites. The identified quarry sites for sand and gravel, including boulders, is at Cabadbaran River, Agusan del Norte. The average hauling distance is 30 kilometers from the project site. And for the item 104, the considered quarry is at Bunbon Mountain Quarry. We have 17 kilometers average hauling distance from the project site. And for the item 200 and 300, the identified quarry is in Tagibo River, Agusan del Norte. We have 12 kilometers average hauling distance from the project site. So that's all for this project, ma'am. Answer. Yes, ma'am. Going right, ma'am, kung padulong ka sa Baan, ma'am. Kung going ka Ampayon from Butuan City sa right side, yes, ma'am. Yeah, good siya, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Dili siya, ma'am, sa kanang musumpay lang ta ng iyang protection sa tulay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Left and right bank, ma'am. Ano? Ang sas Yes, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, kung sa kaning iyahang bayadak nga area kaning gihimo karon nga dalan sa Butuan City kani, ma'am. Actually, 3 berms gina siya, ma'am. But nag-una na karon ang sa upper portion nga 1 berm kay na may PCCP nga akong kriting nga ginapanda karon ng Butuan City. So ang kani ato ang project, ma'am, sa ubos na siya nga part. So since taas na kayo nga elevation, so But ang kanina to ma'am is dili ni siya ingon nga direct gyud sa katong ilang existing karon naghimo. Napatay mga 10 meters nga gap ana horizontally. So as per evaluation sa elevation niya, taas gyud siya ma'am, kayo ang elevation. Yes ma'am. No ma'am. Okay ra kayo ma'am as per evaluation ma'am. And accessible siya ma'am. So murag dili kayo tamang problema during implementation ma'am. Yes ma'am. I'm made. Actually ma'am, kusog yun na siya diya ma'am kay ang tubig na to from Mahay, from Ubod-Ubod, diha siya mo gawas ma'am. Mao gyud na siya ang mo salo tanan kanang gikan sa bypass ato nga mga creeks diya ma'am.
Thank you. Let's proceed with the next project. Thank you.
Okay, for the next project, construction of shore protection structure along Poblacion 2, Burgos, Surigao del Norte. The appropriation is 100 million pesos and the ABC is 96 million 500,000 pesos. The location is in Burgos, Surigao del Norte. The contract duration is 210 calendar days. The schedule of opening of bids is on February 8, 2024. So these are the items involved in this project. So kindly look at on our projector. These are the breakdowns for the some items involved in this project. So we have one unit field office for the project engineer, rental basis. We have also provisions for the furnitures, fixtures, and equipments for our field office, and also the operation and maintenance, which includes provision of electricity, water, and tank. Breakdown also for the project billboard or signboards, and for the occupational safety and health program. The breakdown also for the traffic management, and for the minimum equipment requirements. So we have 25 equipments required for this project. So for the information, this project is a continuation project of our previous bid project in municipality of Burgos, Surigao del Norte. So this is the location map. So this is the traverse, the typical details of our shore protection, and for the specific detail for our steel sheet pile. By the way, just want to emphasize that the steel sheet pile used for this project is much thicker compared sa katong mga regular lang ato nga mga uh, steel sheet piles along rivers. So this type of steel sheet piles is much thicker compared sa katong atoang mga. Yes, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am. And again, let me emphasize that the another important specification of this steel sheet pile is it must be a hot rolled Z-type steel sheet pile. So why is it hot rolled? It's because of this as you can see na highlight namin na naka-larsen yung hook niya, yung connectivity niya between steel sheet pile. So compared sa mga cold form, nakapilo lang na siya. So dili siya nga na kaligon. So and we as observe sa mga previous projects na diha ang ato ang weakest link sa ato ang mga structure. So amo lang siya gi-emphasize mamon sir na it must be hot rolled dili cold form. Okay, so the identified quarry for this project for sand and gravel and boulders is in Anauawon River, Surigao del Norte. Sorry for the typical error. So the average hauling distance is 44 kilometers from the pier. Kasi sa kuanta nagkuha diri sa land side. Wala may quarry dito sa island. So for item 104, the identified quarry is in Bangunay River, Agusan del Norte. So the average hauling distance is 71 kilometers from the port. Port. So going to Siargao. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Wala, ma'am. Walay tagko dito nga makadak ang mga barge. Sorry. So that ends my presentation for this project, ma'am, sir.
Thank you, sir, for comments and clarifications. No comments and questions. Thank you, sir. Let's now proceed with the last project. Thank you.
For the next project, Patinay Bridge 1 with bridge ID B01739MN along Daang Maharlika, Agusan, Davao section. The appropriation of this project is 20,100,000 pesos. The ABC is 19,396,500 pesos. The location is in Patinay, Agusan del Sur. The contract duration is 180 calendar days. So this is a widening of bridge with 20.80 meters length. So these are the items involved for this project. For the breakdown of some items, we have the field office rental basis, also provision for of furnitures, fixtures, equipment intended for the field office for the engineer, and provisions for the operation and maintenance of the field office for the engineer. Also breakdown for the project billboard and for the occupational safety and health program. So we have also breakdown for the traffic management. And for the minimum equipment used in this project. So we have a total of 37 equipments required for this project. The location of our project, and this is the general elevation. So this is a widening of the existing Atinay Bridge 1. But since due to the constraint of our budget, with this appropriation, ang one side lang ang mahuman, ang the other side, taman lang siya sa piles, but not all piles ang na-incorporate sa kaning appropriation, ma'am. Okay, for the quarry sites, the considered quarry site for this project for items 104 to 100 is at Maog River, San Salvador. The average hauling distance is 13 kilometers from the project site. And for the item 311 and 405, the identified quarry is in Maasam River with the average hauling distance of 56 kilometers from the project site. So that's all, ma'am and sirs. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Comments and clarifications, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's our program, ma'am. 6 lanes ang target. Since naman na may department order, ma'am, na projects along Daang Marlica, the assigned office na mag-conduct ng planning, preparation of plans, as well as the implementation is ang regional office. So, may mga ginabuhat karon, ma'am, na validation na at least ma-plaster na nato ang mga alignments, may appropriate nga buhaton sa mga bridges ato, either ato mag-widen ba ta or magbutang tag parallel na bridges considering 6 lanes na ang target nato. So medyo nagkaingani lang ni siya, ma'am, because district man gud ang nag-identified, sila po ang nagbutang sa costing. Then as to the alignment, sila po then later part na hatag sa toa ang authority. That's why cannot answer that, ma'am. Kaysa, wala, ma'am. Kaysa, I think, murag planning section, ginamo ang as far as memory na ko is concerned, ma'am, during our discussion, na-propose na tanan, ma'am, na entire. But unfortunately, ang appropriation lang gid nato, ma'am, ang mugawas gyud, especially sa gaan nato, dili gid kayo na butangan og ano, budget. Yeah. Actually, ang program po, ma'am, sa ato ang planning, especially sa planning section is, mao na gyud namon ta, ma'am. Bulto gyud. Mao lagi na, ma'am. Dili gyud nato gunit ang yes, ma'am. Lagi, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Are there further clarifications?
There's none, sir.
There being none, let us now proceed with
The pre-pro.
the presentation of the checklist, contract requirements for both goods and services. Thank you, ma'am.
Habol sa. Tingnan sa mga meeting. Burn. Okay, for the checklist for goods with regards to the technical and financial aspect of the project. First is for the technical. We have here the following requirements. First is the eligibility requirements under section 23.1 of the revised IRR. With the following requirements, first, valid PhilGIPS registration certificate, platinum membership. Second, the registration certificate from SEC DTI for sole proprietorship, CDA for cooperatives. Number three, mayor's permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of prospective bidder is located. Statement of all its ongoing and completed completed government and private contracts within the 10 years from the submission of bid. Latest audited financial statements stamped received by BAR, SLCC, and FCC computation or credit line commitment, valid joint venture agreement, and tax clearance. For the technical documents or requirements, it's a bid security. Second, the conformity with technical specifications as enumerated and specified in sections 6, 7 of the bidding documents. Third, the omnibus sworn statement in accordance with section 25.3 of the IAR of RA 9184 and using the form prescribed in GPPB Resolution 16-2020. Please take note, any missing documents in the above-mentioned checklist is a ground for outright rejection of the bid. For the financial requirement, first, again, the eligibility requirements under section 23.1 of the revised RRR. Here are the following. It's a form of bid, duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities, recurring and maintenance cost if applicable. Again, please take note that any missing documents in the above-mentioned checklist is a ground for outright rejection of the bid. So for the civil works checklist or the technical and the financial aspect of the project. First requirement, it's a field GIF certification of registration and membership platinum. Second, if not enrolled in CWA following Class A and B documents that not covered by field GIF certificate, here are the following requirements: PCAB license and registration, statement of all ongoing government and private projects, SLCC and FCC computation, and statement of total assets and liabilities, GVA if applicable, and letter B, if enrolled in CWA Class A and B documents in CWA, if A need to be updated. Third requirements, it's a bid security in the prescribed form, amount, and validity period. Here are the acceptable forms: cash, cashier's check, manager's check, issued by a universal or commercial bank at 2% of ABC. Another one, it's a bank draft guarantee or a irrevocable letter of credit issued by a universal or commercial bank if issued by a foreign bank, confirmed or authenticated by a universal or commercial bank at 2% of ABC. Another one, we have the surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security at 5% of ABC. And the most common one is the bid securing declaration. Then for the fourth requirement, it's a project requirements, which shall include the following. Letter A, there should be an organizational chart for the contract to be bid. Letter B, list of contractors' key personnel. See clause 14.2A, 3B BDS to be assigned to the contract with their complete qualification data. Letter C, there should be a list of contractors' major construction and laboratory equipment units owned, leased, and or under purchase agreements supported by proof of ownership, lease purchase, and certification of availability of equipment from lessor vendor for project duration. Please see clause 14.2 AC BDS. The fifth requirement, it's an omnibus sworn statement in the form of prescribed by GPPB Resolution number 16-2020. Please take note that any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient documents in the above mentioned checklist is a ground for outright rejection of the bid. Next, for the financial requirement of the project, here are the following requirements. It should be duly signed financial bid form in accordance with the form prescribed in Section 9 bidding forms. There should be a duly signed bid prices and the bill quantities. There should be a duly signed detailed estimates, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid. Fourth is there should be a duly signed quarterly, monthly cash flow and payment schedule. Again, please take note that any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient documents in the above mentioned checklist is a ground for outright rejection of the bid. So that's all for the financial and the technical and financial requirements for civil works. That's all, sir.
For both goods and services and civil works, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Are there any other matters for discussion?
There's none, sir.
There being no more other matters for discussion for the pre-bid conference, Let us now terminate the proceedings for the pre-bid conference and let us proceed with the pre-procurement conference based on the same attendance for today. So thank you, ma'am. Let us now stop the recording.